What's going on, y'all? This is interesting. We got a thread here by Xboxera, and it seems they're frustrated, and maybe there's some damage control here. We got some stuff to read here. One, the headline, Xboxera, Xbox is dead, long live Xbox. It's like, okay, so we kind of see you're like, wait, are they contradicting? It's like, no. Basically, I guess they don't like it because, there's a post right here that says, one of the strangest things about Xbox, particularly in 2025, is not about how it's performed. So to them, that wasn't strange. I guess they're accepting that and they think it's fine, but how it's discussed. It's written largely by folks that simply don't meaningfully play there. He's gonna get tore apart with this by people. Like, opinion, and then here's an opinion thread. Xbox is dead. Long live Xbox. Interesting. So going down here, we're going to take a look at some highlights. Then we're going to go to the main thread to see what he has to say to this. And then there's Blue Sky as well, which is, kind of zone. But, we'll go over there and see what's going to be happening. So going down and look at some highlights here. He says, for decades, gaming has been defined by home consoles. Yeah, of course. A physical box earning pride of place in your living room, it evolved through the generations via technological advances in power and performance. Dude, you always needed some type of power and you always needed something to perform to play anything in general. Platform holders would duke it out with exclusive software. It's still going on. Xbox is the only one that can't do it anymore. With the primary aim being to sell your bespoke hardware, why would you not want to sell your hardware? That gives you a high install base. When you have a high install base across multiple devices now that can carry over generations, you have multiple active devices sitting there. When you have a larger install base, you have a higher subscription, you have higher software sales, and you have a live ecosystem where Xbox has to put its games and go to, like PlayStation and Nintendo, so that they can get numbers. If I don't have a high install base, then would you... Yeah, that has not changed for anything. You want high base for subscription, high base for, some service games, some live service game like Fortnite. You always want things to be there. The more devices people have, the more people can be active. All right, so we got that out the way, because you always know that when it comes to these Xbots, and I'm not saying that people who enjoy Xbox, that they always try to make it seem like something is a certain way because they failed in that world. And it's like, no, you just failed. It's still, all that stuff is still very important. Definitely now more than ever with the way the PC market is crashing heavy. We've all seen the outrage, the reactions. Halo on PlayStation, it's a betrayal. No, him putting on the t-shirt is a betrayal. Everybody knew Halo was coming to PlayStation. That was kind of like already been in the cards when you seen Gears go there, when you see Forza go there. It's like, what do you think, they're not going to do that? Yeah, they are. We've also seen the arguments and discussions that followed each multi-platform announcement. If Xbox games are available everywhere, why own an Xbox? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what is the point, dude? I can also play everything on my PC. There is no point of the hardware if you don't make it have any identity and attraction. That's why nobody buys it. The fact that you're still trying to talk like this at this point in time, even with everything going crashing down, with Microsoft raging yesterday, it just shows that you're just another delusional Xbox fanboy. I'm saying, I can tell this guy is one. I'd argue Xbox hasn't abandoned the brand. It's played. Oh, man. I don't know what else to tell. Oh, yeah, they're doing a bang-up job. Oh, yeah, they haven't been stepping on 100,000 rakes. Yeah, the biggest games are everywhere. No. Not always the case. There you go again, trying to damage control. And the only thing Xbox has abandoned is the illusion that exclusivity withholding content creates value. This guy is a loser. Dude, you're a loser. I'm just going to say it. 2025 was the year Xbox finally delivered. See what I mean? This guy's a bot. We've seen big releases across single-player categories like Doom: The Dark Ages, which you just pre-bought and it's there. Avowed, and Ninja Gaiden 4, amazing, but not your game, developed by Koei Tecmo. Yeah, you have the publishing rights for it. Cool, and I'm glad you did that. You know what I mean? But it didn't do that well. Nothing really does well with you. All these massively underperformed when it comes to commercial success with your type of base and with your whatever identity you want to say. And it's disappointing because I would like to see Itagaki have that launched and it would have been exceptional. Outer Worlds 2, yeah, we know what happened with that, right? With all the nonsense getting involved. Tanked too. You see what I mean? And I was already forgotten about. Doom: The Dark Ages was the most underperforming one of all time. I beat that without dying. Oblivion Remastered. Unreal Engine 5 hell. And everything you did before Outer Worlds 2 launched destroyed that launch. We've seen smaller experimental titles like Keeper and South of Midnight, massive live service, like releases with the annual Call of Duty, the worst ever, or a new access multiplayer like Grounded 2, nobody cares. And I'm not even going into retail across all the DLC expansions, blah, blah, blah. Hey, man, I'm just being real, you know what I mean? And I beat those games, you know what I mean? I enjoyed Doom, and Valve was mid, you know what I mean? It's not no Elder Scrolls, not even close. And I had Game Pass all year, and I've owned every Xbox. And I still like the Xbox brand, whatever the hell's left over. But I'm not going to sit here and just be an open target for everybody like you're doing. Like you're kind of just making yourself be a huge delusional Xbox fanboy. So it's like, yeah, you did all that, but it's like all those underperform massively, and you don't even share any sales. So nobody plays on Xbox, but we do. Okay, how's that really going to help you out, dude? One of the strangest things about Xbox, particularly in 2025, is not about how it's performed, but how it's discussed. There's a very dominant narrative that exists around Xbox, and I dismiss a lot of it because it's written largely by folks that simply don't meaningfully play there. What do you mean? Too many of them. Xbox is an anomaly. No, it's not. It's pretty quite straightforward. A discussion point, a clickbait generator. No, man, that would have been Switch 2. I'd say that there was a lot more gripped against that, whereas Xbox, it underperformed. You know what I mean? It got destroyed by Microsoft. And a cautionary tale about how a brand can go oh so wrong. The brand is dissected, not in terms that I'd argue actually matter, but in market share in hardware sales and how could it get so bad in purely hypothetical futures. In most mainstream discourse, Xbox is predominantly spoken about in terms of what isn't. What are you talking about, dude? And so Xbox is dead lives on. One of the most persistent and patently observed refrains across the industry is driven by people who never just play there. Do you mean people who don't want to be there anymore and everybody left a long time ago? You say that about people who play there, like, dude, what are you talking about? Dude, Game Pass is everywhere. You can experience that, and then it's easy to look at the hardware without owning it. I can tell you a lot about Steam Machine before that even comes out and everybody knows. What does that have to do with not being able to understand that it's in the worst position of all time and had the lowest sales ever and no Black Friday deals, multiple price hikes, Game Pass going to 30, all the layoffs, all the cancellations, all the lies. What are you talking about? And Microsoft being even more angry because they can't get their DRAM aspect, saying that it's going to get delayed more. Magnus look like it's going to be the lowest selling entry. ROG Ally already disappeared like a ghost. Didn't sell nothing. Why are you trying to act like it's not true? Everybody knows this is obvious. This is not a beating down Xbox video, but this is putting a fanboy in his place because it's like, you're just being a fanboy. Like, you're coping hard. To them, Xbox is an empty, lifeless platform. It is. Devoid of relevance and lacking in players. Dude, that's the truth. Yeah, we know the community that plays there knows that this isn't just true. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, man. Kudos to the people still playing there. Nothing against that. Paying $30 a month on console for Game Pass. And it just not moving anything. And the Switch 1 outsold it weekly since all year. You get outsold by a 9-year-old console damn near. Gamers on Xbox have been showered with games to play, large and small, consistently throughout the year. It's also available on PC, also available on PlayStation. And so a majority of them are available on Switch 2, and a lot more are coming as well. And you get cheaper access on PC and don't have to pay for online. Though, like, you know, that's hurting a lot now with the stuff coming to it, but I'm trying to understand what are you trying to do here. This is the most generic article. Xbox has proved in 2025 that they finally have the scale and cadence they've been chasing. No, dude. And they support more variety and more genres than any other platform. Hold up, dude. Okay, this guy is so delusional. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Nintendo dropped like 11 games this year, and they didn't have to monopolize. What are you talking about? And they didn't fail, and they sold millions. Just gonna say it. Everything you think you have, they just pre-bought with money so that they could put their publishing stamp on it and then try to say that they have all these games. But really you don't, because they immediately went everywhere else because you can't make a platform successful. And then you put Game Pass on there and put all the games there day one and killed the market, and nobody buys your product. You lost everything back in 2013, haven't been able to recover since. And I've been there supporting each console, but I speak the truth though. Then you go sit here and say they have more genres than any other platform holder publisher. You're out of your mind. Nintendo is way ahead. And they always have been, and it's organic, and it's from their being. They didn't have to monopolize or buy anything. Sorry, no. And Sony's always had a lot more money hats and a lot more games available, and a lot of gacha games. This year, they were a little bit slow at the beginning, but they picked up towards the end, and next year's looking really nice. You have pre-bought established stuff, but it has no identity on your hardware. You have no exclusives. You have no identity for nothing at all. It's always available everywhere else, day one. And you don't have to worry about having the console. So what do you mean Xbox has? No, they don't, man. It's everybody's. And okay, because that's the game that you have to play because you can't play any other game. Don't try to make it seem like exclusives don't matter because you can't sell exclusives because your market is dead. So you want to project that onto other platforms to make it seem like people need to accept that delusion. But really that's coming from the 4th place recently. Next Playground is number 3. Gotta say it, you know what I mean? Because yeah, you got sold by them twice. So you sitting here saying this, trying to make it seem like it's better than it is, when really everybody knows this stuff is pathetic. And ever since they've gotten Activision, it's gotten worse. See what I'm saying? Not only did they lose more money last year and Game Pass tanked down after that, but the next Call of Duty after that did the worst performing, period. Look at Black Ops 7, trash. Already went on sale 50% off. And then last year you tried that, what happened? 100 million lost. Raise that profit margin up. So what are you talking about? Ever since you did that, there's not been no benefits at all. You're just looking dumb, man. The old Xbox was defined like most of the other platforms in the industry. The single prestige Halo launch, that powerful new hardware reveal, or a bought and paid for exclusive release. Those days are done for Xbox because they can't do it. That's like saying Nintendo should drop all that stuff. For what? Why would they do that? That don't make no sense. They're more healthy than ever, selling more hardware, still leading with the records because they can do that. You don't think if Microsoft can do that, they wouldn't? Are you kidding me? That's like telling NVIDIA they should be third party. What are you talking about? It's like telling Apple they shouldn't be Apple, but they're still dominating the whole world. All the best do that. You're full of it. It's like telling Netflix they should share. There should be no net. Dude, get out of here with that loser stuff. I get tired of this loser mentality from the Xbox community, man. It gets annoying after a while. Like, you embarrass that brand. I like to see intelligence coming out of there and not this puppet damage control. So what's done is Xbox unable to support and have an exclusive concept. The only one that had some type of integrity with that was Phil Spencer, who was straight up honest about it a long time ago. And it's not his fault that Xbox failed. He did what he could, but there isn't 100 Phil Spencers in Microsoft. So all the rest of these guys are soulless suits and people who don't care. So talking about it's drowning its players in quality releases. Dude, go ask people if they feel that way. And Xbox's 2026 looks even better. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, you don't know that. The only thing that I can say that they might do well in 2026 is being a good publisher. Because you have to branch out and go everywhere. Other than that, it's like, you need to wake up. Like, this says, a deeply unserious publication. I'm glad Xboxera is enjoying Xbox. I had an Xbox. In fact, I had 2. Sold them both and canceled Game Pass this year, despite them having a lineup of games I was genuinely excited for. So I do not know. Try again, F Microsoft. Yeah, the problem is that not many people play there. I guess I shouldn't expect otherwise from Xboxera. Yeah, it's Xbot era is what I'm going to call it now. Being so just dumb. Like, and then you go over here to Resetera. I mean, over here to Blue Sky, they said, looking at its sales, of course, most people discussing it aren't playing it there. Hardly surprising. People don't play on Xbox because they don't need to. My Series X has gathered dust for years because I can literally play every single game they release on my PC and get mods and play at higher settings and play whatever controller I want. And not have to pay for online and get Game Pass for cheap. Why would I even bother to play anything on Xbox when I can get it cheaper and have better performance on PC? Xbox is 100% dead. You see what he just said? It shouldn't be that hard to understand. So, I mean, and then just down here, it's like more things. We don't really have to read this, but he's just basically going on COPIUM here. And it's this guy right here. It's like, sorry, dude. I mean, you look like a loser writing this article. It's damage control. So we're going down to Resetera. The problem with the every screen is an Xbox ecosystem strategy is that nobody wants to use their PC games store. The mobile store is in regulation limbo, and the console is pushing up the daisies. This just leaves them with cloud. Very true. Everybody wants to be on Steam. And ain't nobody letting go of that profile and that vanity. See, and then not interested. I mean, you could go around, like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's just saying that Xboxera is huffing some serious copium. I gotta say it. I ain't gonna see nobody come out and do this, man. They're just making themselves look like not wise doing that. Like, call me crazy, but none of the Xbox releases this year blew me away. Not even Doom, which I was genuinely excited for. I feel the same. I didn't even die one time. They make a lot of games all right, but it's only half the equation. The games come out and barely feel like they're talked about, and even Call of Duty is starting to suffer. Hey, I was doing nothing but telling truth here. I'm not beating down anything. It's the truth over here. all their stuff felt like it passed and it never existed. It was like a pass through, like it didn't mean anything. But you did all that to try to seem like it. But then you had almost barely 1 million consoles sold. But you did all that. It did nothing. What was the point? I don't understand. You should have just left them alone to get better sales and better releases. Like, damn, man. They just don't get it, y'all. So that's pretty much what I have to say about this. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry. I'm not here to beat down Xbox. It's already beat down enough, but that's not what it's about. This is about coming after this fanboy on Xboxera, because it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Why are we doing this? It's like you're unable to accept reality. See, the problem with people that aren't able to accept reality and live in a fantasy and cope in the back all the time is that you're not going to improve because you're not accepting how much you need to improve, or maybe you need to adjust and move to something else. But coming and doing this when the whole world knows this, like, it's like if you look like that little 1-2% of the gaming community in the corner, that the 98% is like, why are you doing this? Maybe not to the degree that I'm going to come do this, but even people are like, I mean, dude, everybody knows, like, what do I need that console for? I really don't, you know? And they even told you, you don't have to get an Xbox. You don't have to buy one. I've never heard nobody say that, but that's what they said. They said a lot of things. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments down below. Peace out. Have a great day. Later, y'all. Good Lord.